Hi there, Brian Hopkins here. Thanks so much for joining us. Do you remember the day that you were born? I sure don't. I'm not sure that's even possible, is it? But we all know by virtue of us being here that we were born, right? And then after you're born, you start to grow up. You don't stay a baby forever. My wife Dana, she loves kids at every age and stage, but she really loves babies. And when our kids were little, she would go, "Oh, I wish you'd stay like this forever." And I'd go, no, let's get to growing up. I want to be all done with diapers and middle of the night, hungry, screaming babies. Let's grow, because growing up is normal. We're studying the book of 1 Corinthians, this letter that Paul wrote to the church in Corinth, to recalibrate some things that were going on in the church. Listen to what Paul wrote in chapter 3, starting in verse 1. "Brothers and sisters, I could not address you as people who live by the Spirit, but as people who are still worldly, mere infants in Christ. I gave you milk, not solid food, for you were not yet ready for it. Indeed, you are still not ready. You are still worldly, for since there is jealousy and quarreling among you, are you not worldly? Are you not acting like mere humans?" Paul's telling every one of us who are born again, you got to grow up. You got to grow out of that baby stuff. Old things are meant to be gone. New things are supposed to be showing up. So what's your next step towards spiritual maturity? Just like a child growing up, maturing isn't a microwave process, it's a crock pot. The same thing is true of our relationship with Jesus Christ. It's a one foot in front of the other, step by step. So what's your next step? Spending time with God, reading His Word, and praying is a great step. Not occasionally, but every day. Finding community with some like-minded, like-hearted people who will challenge you to grow and mature, that's a great next step. Join a serving team at your church. That's a great next step. Serving others has a way of being like miracle grow to your spiritual walk. Ask somebody who's been walking with Jesus longer than you, "Hey, what do you think my next step is?" They'd love to help you. What's your next step? Determine what it is and go take that step. And just imagine with me what would happen in your relationships, in your family, in your workplace, on your team, with your neighbors, if you took your next step of spiritual growth. I believe that God has great stuff in store for all of us if we'll just take a next step. Thanks so much for joining today. See you real soon.